Train your mind to stay calm in any situation. This is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about learning how to stand steady when life tries to shake you. The Stoics believed that peace is not found in silence, isolation, or comfort. Peace is found in mastery. Mastery over your thoughts. Mastery over your reactions. Mastery over the invisible storms inside your mind. Most people panic not because a situation is unbearable, but because their mind has never been trained to handle pressure. They react instantly. They assume the worst. They hand their peace over to events they cannot control. Stoic philosophy teaches something radical. You do not control what happens, but you always control how you respond. And that single idea can change your entire life. Imagine being criticized and feeling nothing but clarity. Imagine facing uncertainty without anxiety. Imagine chaos unfolding around you while your mind remains calm, sharp, and grounded. This is not a fantasy. This is a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained. The Stoics understood that calm is not weakness. Calm is power under control. A calm mind sees clearly. A calm mind makes better decisions. A calm mind cannot be easily manipulated. If you're enjoying this kind of deep Stoic wisdom, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. More videos like this are coming, designed to sharpen your mind and strengthen your inner discipline. One of the greatest illusions people believe is that calm comes naturally. It does not. Calm is built through repetition, reflection, and restraint. Every time you react emotionally without thinking, you reinforce chaos. Every time you pause, you reinforce strength. The Stoics trained themselves to pause. Before speaking, before reacting, before allowing emotions to take control. They understood that most problems are not emergencies. They only feel like emergencies because the mind has been hijacked by fear. Fear speaks loudly. Wisdom speaks quietly. Training your mind begins with learning to listen to the quieter voice. When something goes wrong, your first instinct might be to complain, panic, or blame. The Stoic response is different. It begins with a simple question. Is this within my control? If it is, act calmly and deliberately. If it is not, release it immediately. This single mental filter can save you years of stress. Traffic, delays, other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks. None of these deserve your inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that people would be rude, selfish, and ignorant. Not to become bitter, but to become prepared. Calmness is easier when nothing surprises you. When you expect challenges, they lose their power to shock you. The mind that expects perfection will always be disappointed. The mind that expects difficulty remains unshaken. This is why Stoicism does not promise an easy life. It promises a strong mind. If this message resonates with you, subscribe now so you don't miss the next lesson. Each video is crafted to help you build emotional control, mental clarity, and inner strength. Another powerful Stoic practice is negative visualization. It sounds dark, but it creates peace. By calmly imagining loss, failure, or inconvenience, you reduce fear. You stop clinging to outcomes. You become mentally flexible. When difficulties actually appear, your mind says, "I've been here before." This doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you resilient. Most anxiety comes from resisting reality. Stoicism teaches acceptance without surrender. You accept what is, you improve what you can. Nothing more, nothing less. The calm mind does not rush. It does not chase validation. It does not beg life to be easier. It adapts. And adaptation is the highest form of intelligence. We live in a world addicted to reaction. Social media thrives on outrage. News thrives on fear. Drama thrives on attention. Stoicism invites you to step out of this noise, not by escaping the world, but by mastering yourself within it. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to respond to every provocation. Silence, when chosen, is strength. A calm person cannot be controlled. Because control requires emotional hooks. When nothing hooks you, you are free. If you want more teachings like this, calm, focused, and grounded in Stoic philosophy, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is a place to train your mind, not distract it. Calm is built in moments no one sees. When you choose patience instead of anger. When you choose understanding instead of judgment. When you choose discipline instead of impulse. These small decisions compound. Over time, your nervous system learns safety. Your thoughts slow down. Your reactions soften. And suddenly, situations that once overwhelmed you feel manageable. This is not because life became easier. It's because you became stronger. A calm mind is not empty. It is ordered. Most people think calm means having no thoughts at all. The Stoics knew better. Calm comes from having the right thoughts at the right time. When your mind is filled with unnecessary opinions, imagined futures, and borrowed worries, peace becomes impossible. So the first discipline is mental filtering. Ask yourself quietly, does this thought help me act wisely right now? If it does not, let it pass. You don't argue with every stranger you meet on the street. You shouldn't argue with every thought that enters your mind either. Thoughts are visitors. You decide who stays. This alone can reduce anxiety more than any external solution. Another Stoic practice for staying calm in any situation is voluntary discomfort. Choosing difficulty before life forces it on you. Cold showers. Waking up earlier than necessary. Eating simply. Walking instead of driving. These are not punishments. They are training. When your mind learns that discomfort is survivable, fear loses its grip. You stop panicking at minor inconveniences. You stop exaggerating pain. The Stoics understood that a mind spoiled by comfort becomes fragile. A trained mind becomes adaptable. When chaos appears, it doesn't scream. It adjusts. If you're finding value here, pause for a moment and subscribe to the channel. This is where we build inner discipline, not noise. One of the most powerful Stoic reminders is this: you are not your emotions. Anger is a signal, not a command. Fear is information, not a prophecy. Sadness is a moment, not an identity. Most suffering happens when people fuse their identity with their feelings. I am angry. I am anxious. I am broken. Stoicism reframes this. I feel anger. I notice anxiety. I experience pain. That small shift creates distance. Distance creates control. You cannot control what you feel first, but you can control what you do next. That is where calm lives. The Stoics trained themselves to delay reactions. To sit with emotion before acting on it. In that pause, wisdom appears. A calm person does not rush to defend their ego. They don't need to win every argument. They don't need to explain themselves to everyone. Silence becomes a choice, not a weakness. Remember this: not everything deserves your energy. Many situations are designed to drain you. Provocations, disrespect, unnecessary conflicts. Calm is choosing not to participate. When you refuse to react, you reclaim power. If this philosophy speaks to you, make sure you're subscribed. More lessons like this are coming. Focused, timeless, and practical. Another Stoic insight for staying calm is remembering impermanence. Everything passes. Good moments, bad moments, embarrassing moments, painful moments. When you remember this, urgency fades. You stop treating temporary problems like permanent disasters. The Stoics reminded themselves daily, "This too shall pass." Not to dismiss pain, but to prevent panic. A calm mind has perspective. Perspective is emotional oxygen. Without it, the mind suffocates in the present moment. With it, you breathe. When something goes wrong, widen your view. Zoom out. Will this matter in a year? In 5 years? In a lifetime? Most of the time, the answer is no. Calm is remembering the scale of life. Another key Stoic habit is preparation. Not worrying, but preparing. The Stoics rehearsed challenges mentally. They imagined rejection, failure, loss, not to suffer twice, but to remove surprise. Surprise is what creates emotional spikes. When you expect difficulty, your nervous system stays relaxed. You move through challenges instead of colliding with them. This is why calm people seem unshakable. They're rarely surprised by human behavior. They understand people act from ignorance, fear, or self-interest. And once you understand that, you stop taking things personally. If you want to keep strengthening this mindset, subscribe now. This channel exists to help you build a mind that cannot be easily disturbed. Calm is not passive. It is alert. The Stoic mind is observant. It notices what is happening without being consumed by it, like standing on a riverbank, watching thoughts and events flow past. You don't jump into every current. You don't chase every ripple. You observe. Then you act when action is necessary. This selective engagement is the secret to energy conservation. Most people are exhausted because they engage with everything. The Stoic engages only with what matters. And that is why they remain calm under pressure. To train your mind to stay calm in any situation, you must stop expecting the world to cooperate with your emotions. The Stoics never waited for ideal conditions to feel at peace. They built peace that did not depend on conditions at all. This is the difference between fragile calm and durable calm. Fragile calm disappears when plans fail. Durable calm remains even when everything changes. The Stoics anchored their peace internally. They understood that the external world is unstable by nature. People change. Circumstances shift. Fortune turns without warning. So instead of trying to control life, they controlled their judgments about life. What disturbs you is not what happens, but the meaning you assign to it. Two people can face the same situation. One collapses, the other adapts. The difference is not strength. It is interpretation. When something happens, ask yourself, what story am I telling about this? Is it truly a disaster? Or merely inconvenient? Calm begins when you stop exaggerating reality. If this way of thinking is helping you, subscribe to the channel. Every video here is designed to sharpen your perception and strengthen your inner balance. Another Stoic discipline is learning to act without attachment to outcome. Do your best, then release the result. Most anxiety comes from clinging to outcomes you cannot guarantee. You prepare, you show up, you act with integrity. Then you let go. This mindset creates calm even in high-pressure situations. You are no longer desperate for control. You are committed to effort. Effort is yours. Outcomes are not. This simple distinction can remove an enormous mental burden. The Stoics trained themselves to value character over success. Success can vanish. Character cannot. When your self-worth is tied to who you are rather than what you achieve, calm becomes natural. You stop performing. You start living. A calm mind also understands the power of routine. Daily reflection. Daily restraint. Daily discipline. Not dramatic changes. Small, consistent actions. The Stoics ended each day by reviewing their behavior. not to punish themselves, but to improve. Where did I lose control? Where did I act wisely? What can I do better tomorrow? This gentle self-audit builds awareness. Awareness builds control. Control builds calm. If you want guidance like this every day, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is a training ground for the mind. Another often overlooked Stoic principle is speaking less. Words have weight, and unnecessary words create unnecessary problems. The calm person chooses words carefully. They do not rush to respond. They do not overshare emotions. They understand that once spoken, words cannot be recalled. Silence gives you time. Time gives you clarity. Clarity gives you power. Many conflicts dissolve when you simply don't react immediately. Stoicism teaches that restraint is a form of intelligence. Not every truth needs to be spoken. Not every opinion needs to be expressed. Calm is knowing when to stay quiet. The Stoics also practice gratitude, not as positivity, but as realism. You already have enough to be calm. Food, air, a functioning body, a thinking mind. Everything else is a bonus. When you stop demanding more from life, tension fades. Gratitude grounds you in what is real, not what is missing. This perspective softens the mind. A soft mind is not weak. It is flexible, and flexibility is essential for calm under pressure. The Stoics also reminded themselves of mortality. Not morbidly, but honestly. You will not be here forever. Neither will your problems. This awareness cuts through trivial stress. When you remember the limited nature of time, petty frustrations lose importance. You stop wasting energy on meaningless struggles. You focus on what matters. And a focused mind is a calm mind. If this message is helping you see life differently, subscribe now. More Stoic wisdom is coming. Timeless lessons for modern pressure. To stay calm in any situation, you must stop fighting reality. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance creates peace. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means understanding. Understanding allows action. Once you stop saying, "This shouldn't be happening," your mind clears. You deal with what is, not what you wish it were. This is the foundation of Stoic calm.